Okay, we're playing some Legacy today. I'm starting off with some Grixis Delver. We've lost Gitaxian Probe, we've lost Deathrite Shaman. So in exchange, we're playing more cantrips, we're playing more main deck interaction with Inquisitions and Thoughtseize, and we have Bitterblossoms as additional sticky threats. So interested to see how this new version of Grixis Delver plays. This list got 11th at Grand Prix Richmond, which is a really exciting finish. For, you know, it looks quite strange as well. So to get 11th, very cool. Keep this. Gonna find an underground sea for the sake of this fatal push and just fire off the ponder. These wastelands are gonna lead to a fast angler, which is nice. Alright, so we're a bit scared of opposing wastelands here. Like, we can draw the Daze, next turn draw the Preordain, and that's reasonable. Preordain helps like fuel the angler. Daze helps against like combo decks or a fast start over there. I think I'm interested in keeping these cards. I can scry away the bolt with the Preordain. Obviously this leaves a soft wasteland. I think that ponder's too good for us to just like shuffle away. The title should be updated, Raisin. Alright, we can just push this, wasteland their land, so we don't need to daze them. I guess if we're pushing that, we're not preordaining, so we end up drawing the vault, but I think that's fine. Alright, let's get this nonsense out of here. Kill both your mana sources. Oh, okay, Raisin, that makes sense. I restarted the stream hoping it would send out another notification with the updated title. I guess it didn't. So, Wasteland doing this means we had to draw the bolt, but I don't think that's the end of the world. We don't get Angler this turn. We do get to Wasteland them again though. So that's delightful. Oh, they're on Infect. Huh. Okay. That's exciting. So Thoughtseize is great. Oh yeah, we want both of these, right? We've got a Flooded Strand for the bolts, a Thoughtseize to attack their hand. This is just perfect. Does it matter what order we draw them in? Not really. Yeah, this is perfect. Oh, Wooded Foothills is an Infect Tower? I didn't realize that. That makes sense though, with the Hierarch. Basic Island. Huh. Cute. I need to get my threat down this turn, and I need this to get a Volk for the bolts. So I guess I am not Thoughtseizing them this turn. I don't want to run the Angler into a Daze. We're only going to need the one Angler in play anyway, so I think I'm just going to max Delve here so I can pay an additional mana if I need to. Force. Force is the one thing that really punishes us for this, because now the next Angler's like that much harder to cast. I think they're fine with this. We've got Bolt plus Thoughtseize, so we can't really die here, particularly. I should probably play out the sea here because of Spell Pierce. Fluster, etc. Yeah, Fluster. Me playing around cards. Huh. So Thoughtseize is going to put us at 3 cards in yard with the Strand. So we're like almost able to cast the fish. This is interesting. Yeah, I can daze anything else. That's true, and we can daze the library quite happily. Taking the listener off is reasonable. We've got Bolt to deal with the next threat. I'll just pass the turn here. So we really want to draw anything that lets us cast this Angler this turn. I could Bolt them at end of turn. That might be a bit aggressive. We put them to 15, but then we get to cast Angler and put a clock on them, which is nice. I'm sure on this. I think I just want to guarantee I can Angler them. I think that appeals to me. Means we don't have a Bolt for a Glistener Elf anymore, which is scary if they go, but they need to draw like land plus Glistener Elf in like their 2 draw steps here. This is fine. Yeah, now we have a force to protect us. Alright, we're in a good position. Any blue card lets us have Daze plus force up. We've got a 3 turn clock in play. Ramble with the fish. I could hold this for Brainstorm, or I could play it so that untapped land lets me cast both Daze and force. I think I'm gonna play it because Brainstorm is such a good draw anyway, whereas lands are like kind of bad draws and I want to make them better for us. Alright, 100% countering this garbage. I'm just gonna Daze it this way because then untapped land lets me hold up hard cast force. Oh, this means they can replay the island, right? That makes sense. Yeah, this is smart play from them, that Daze. Don't know that it's going to be enough, but you know, smart play regardless. Yeah, play was good. Agree. So I can draw Wasteland plus Force, have Force up next turn. That's probably good. That's probably good enough. Awesome. That was a pretty decisive game there. Yeah, Piracy Charm is sweet. It's some really nice tech. So we want the Edicts, 100%. The Lilianas seem kind of gross. Abrade just as more removal. We could play Pithing Needle against Inkmoth, maybe. Don't know if that's too narrow. We could also play Marsh Casualties, maybe, but it's like a bit worse than these. Oh yeah, Wasteland is gross against Trop as well, for sure. what are we cutting? True-Name seems like the actual worst. Just like doesn't matter at all. We can take out the island because they're not attacking our mana. Yeah, I think Needle's too narrow. I think I agree. Agree with you there. Oh, I don't like Pyroblast is fine. They don't have that many blue cards. It does kill Blighted Agent though. It does kill Blighted Agent. I'm probably playing Tron. Dame. I think Tron is just very, very good at the moment. I think it's being underplayed. What else am I cutting? I can probably cut some counter magic. Cut like a couple forces. Or a couple dazes. I'm not sure which is worse. I can probably trim a couple forces. Yeah, Blast seems very narrow. I think I agree with you. It's like fine, but... Snap unsubbed. Tron is evil. Tron is love. Tron is life. I think... So my main concern is all their spells are like really cheap, right? That's the problem with Daze. I don't get the hate either. I think Tron is great. I'm a Tron fan. I kind of want to take out one threat for the Spell Pierce whilst I'm at it. I think Pyromancer is probably our worst threat. Angler is just very good when you're trading loads of cheap interaction. Pyromancer blocks Glistener Elf all day, but I think Glistener Elf is pretty easy for our deck to deal with in general. Oh my god, Alex. Hope you're recovering okay. How is this hand? This hand does not have a coloured source. It's like really close to good. Alright, this hand's pretty bad. But I guess I'm keeping. People really do hate Tron. Makes me sad. Alright, I'll run out this Delver. I want to Wasteland them, but Wastelanding them once we have a Delver in play is just so much better. Because we then have a clock on board. And we've got this Daze to protect from Blighty. Also this way we can kill an Ink Moth, right? Which is great. Yeah, Tron ends things quickly, right? They cast their card and you're like, you know what? Let's move on to the next game. Alright, I think I have to play Wasteland for this Ink Moth. Just take the threat off the board. Opponent is criticizing me for having Dazes in on the draw. Have I played much Pauper? I played quite a bit. I used to play a lot of mono black control. Like couple years ago, 2-3 years ago, and I've been playing I've played some Boros Monarch in the last year a few times. I really enjoy that deck. I think Boros Monarch just draws so many cards, right? Can I explain the point of not playing Karn in Tron? So the point of... So, the answer to that is going to take me a moment, so I'll start doing it once I've stopped focusing on these decisions so much. Just going to play out my Delver and pass the turn here. So, Tron, no Karn in Tron. There's like a bunch of different things feeding into this. I started off with like 2 main thoughts. One is I think Karn is quite bad against the control decks, because he just gets countered. He's like really expensive and gets countered by all their counters and doesn't do anything when he does, whereas like World Breaker does something when it gets countered, which is really nice against the control decks. And like if they counter your World Breaker, you just get to start recurring it, so they like almost have to let it resolve and path it, at which point you're like really pressuring their path to exiles, which is nice. So that's a part of it. In addition, I think Karn is quite bad against a lot of the very fast, aggressive decks in the tier 1 at the moment. So like, Karn is quite bad against... So I'm just thinking what I'm doing here. I can probably brainstorm here, to be honest. I've got cards I want to get rid of. Karn is quite bad against, like, Hollow One, for example. Or, against... I guess I have to put back the black spells. Karn is, like, quite bad against a deck like Hollow One, because it's just, like, a 7-mana Vindicate. And, I think I can play this out and just attack for 6. I kind of want to get my opponent dead here. Okay, I could leave one of these back to block this. I've got like Pierce plus Force. Maybe this is too aggressive. Yeah, versus Spirits, Karn is quite bad too, agree. Versus like Hardened Scales, it's quite bad. Versus Humans, it's quite bad. Yeah, this might be playing a bit too scared, only attacking with the 1, but I guess this is the world we live in. So there are just like a bunch of places where I'm pretty off Karn, and I think World Breaker is so good against those aggressive decks. And like, hey there, Amy. And one of the things... So I just want to fire off this Preordain, get rid of the Bitterblossom, try and find a black source here. Or a Lightning Bolt, jeez. Lightning Bolt's streamy. I guess now we don't have a blue spell for Force, which is not the best. Let's try and bolt the Glistener Elf, I guess. Just to start chewing through protection spells. So, there's just like a lot of decks I don't like Karn very much against, and I think World Breaker is very well positioned. So part of the concern of removing Karn is, Do I just counter this? Probably. If this dies this turn, we get to swing in with both of these. Yeah, Bog doesn't seem great against us, agree. This might be incorrect, I'm unsure. So, part of the concern with cutting Karn is obviously... Yeah, I could like waste a Trop and then have Force up in their turn to protect us, and then it makes them harder to fluster back. I think realistically this Force wasn't doing much anyway though, by the looks of things, so whatever. I'm just going to attack with 1 Aberration again and leave 1 back to block. So part of the concern of removing Karn is obviously you have less turn 3 plays, right? Because Worldbreaker is really hard to actually cleanly play on turn 3. I'm also going to save this Wasteland for an Inkmoth, because none of those lands really matter. They have lots of mana already. So part of the concern is that you have like less clean turn 3 plays, right? Because it's so hard to cast Worldbreaker on turn 3. But the thing is, things have changed a lot since like 3 years ago. So like one of the big differences now compared to like 3 years ago is that just block here, is that you have Walking Ballista. So if you're playing like 4 Walking Ballistas in your deck, you can just... Please don't have Berserk. Alright, that was a pretty fine trade with me. If you have 4 Walking Ballistas in your deck, there are loads of decks where you're super happy just to cast a Walking Ballista for free on turn 3 with your Tron mana, and that will be like enough to keep you alive and in the game, right? Awesome. Let's just bolt this. If it dies, we get to like 100% attack. Oh my god, so many blue blasts against our like 4 red spells. It's kind of ludicrous. I'm going to attack, I think. Whatever, get them dead. Like, Walking Ballista for free on turn 3 is honestly just great against, like, a large portion of the metagame at the moment. So, like, sure, you're pretty sad not to have Karns on turn 3 as much, but it's not like you don't have turn 3 plays. And in exchange, your long game is just, like, lines up much better against the metagame as a whole. So, I know, that's the thinking that led down to me, not playing Karns. I've been pretty happy with it so far. I think the deck has been performing, like, kind of amazingly. Inkmoth. Nexus. Alright. So I want to draw first, in case I find a black source for Thoughtseize. Easy life. Because then I can take away a Blossoming Defense. They can't protect the Inkmoth. Interesting. I would like to pay for your Daze, so you're not going to fluster me. Alright. So they get to animate Inkmoth here. I just have to wait, right? I just have to wait for them to cast the protection spell. Because we know they only have 1 spell in hand. Yeah, I think this list of Tron is like much better against blue-white. I think it actually beats up on blue-white quite hard, to be honest. Which is nice, because previously blue-white was actually favoured in the matchup. Alright, 1-0 with Grixis Delver. Pretty good start to the stream. Pretty good start. Deck is kind of great. Yeah, I'm playing Tron this weekend. I'm very excited about it. I think Tron is actually just like very well positioned if you build it correctly. Alright, so this is Turbo Depths. Turbo Depths is probably a bad matchup for us if we lose this Bitterblossom. They're just like 100% taking the Bitterblossom, right? It blocks Marit Age for a fair while. I assume so. Take the Delver. Oh, they just don't want. They have another discard spell. They just don't want us to have a turn 1. That makes sense. That makes sense. Reasonable. Ponder, True-Name. Well, True-Name can go to the bottom. I guess I take the Ponder, dig for Wastelands if need be. Scary. Yeah, I do need a Wasteland, you're not wrong. Let's get rid of Bobby. Then stick our Blossom. Start making tokens over here. Hope they don't have an Abrupt Decay in hand. I am quite worried about how good Assassin's Trophy might make Turbo Depths. Imagine Turbo Depths with like 4 Assassin Trophies in the main. It's like actually kind of terrifying to me. Just like blow up your Wasteland, etc. SUI Black. What do you mean by SUI? Brazen? Oh, Suicide Black. I know nothing about that deck. Cannot honestly comment. Well, these are all hot garbage. So let's shuffle. Easiest shuffle of my life. That's also kind of garbage. Alright, alright. Tarmo's for lots of matchups. So, matchups where Tarmo is actively good. It's good against aggressive decks that attack on the ground. So, for example, humans, or Hollow One, or Burn. It's very good against. It is good against control decks because it pressures their path to exiles and gets underneath counter magic like Cryptic Command. I guess we should have played the one they knew about. I'm dumb. Don't mind me, I just don't know how to play Magic. There's still taps for black mana due to Urborg though. Adorable. It's strictly correct to play out the one that works with Brainstorm. It gives them perfect info, which sucks, but hey. Tarmo's also good against the combo decks, kind of. Purely in the sense that it's better than, like, a bunch of your cards in your main deck. I don't think Tarmogoyf is a fast enough clock to matter most of the time, but you at least get to, like, punish the combo decks when they have bad draws, which is nice. So I suspect Tarmogoyf is good enough in those matchups. And Tarmogoyf's also good in the mirror, because you land a Tarmogoyf on board, and oh, these suck. Tarmogoyf is very good in the mirror, because you land a Tarmogoyf on board, and if they cast a Karn, they have to minus on your Tarmogoyf instead of your land, because otherwise the Tarmogoyf just kills Karn. And in the games where you sit there slogging against each other with, like, land destruction and stuff, Tarmogoyf's also just going to kill them before they cast anything. So, I think Tarmogoyf is excellent. This has been a dissertation on the merits of Tarmogoyf in Tron. I'm worried about Toxic Deluge here. Yeah, I'm playing Tarmogoyf in my Tron sideboard. It's been very good. I've been very impressed, very happy. That's a snow-covered forest, so now we get to make a Marit Lage with a crop prop. Scary. This just has to be wildly incorrect. Sorry, I only just realised They used Pithing Needle when there's an Urborg in play to try and Stone Rain us. When they should just name Wasteland, right? Because it's the only card they care about. Oh. Sorry. It took me a moment. Jeez. Yeah, it's not great. Also, I meant to use the Underground Sea because these make black mana anyway, to the extent that that matters at all. I am worried about them killing me with a Crop Rot. I guess there's literal nothing I can do about that. Since I used up my blue spell, I was hoping to find another blue spell and like generate tokens. Maybe that's greedy though. Maybe that's greedy. Sigh. It's probably greedy. Greed never punished. Greed never punished. We should play around Abrupt Decay, right? So we probably shouldn't attack for this turn. We can like wait a turn. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pass the turn here. I could Brainstorm, try and hit a discard spell. I think I can wait one turn on that though. Sylvan Safekeeper. That doesn't do anything. Resolves. Pithing Needle. I mean, sure. Resolves. Chase the Mind Sculptor. Oh my god, that's great. They just think we're on a control deck. That's kind of delightful. Do I want to cast this now? I really want to have Force Up is the problem. I feel like as long as I have Force Up, I'm in a pretty great position here. But any land lets me hold Force Up, even if I don't find a blue card. By doing it end step. Alright, I'm sold. Now we get to Thoughtseize them, get another trigger. I'm not really sure Intolerable, I'm not really sure. Not gonna lie. Yeah, we're gonna be fine, Raisin. We're gonna be fine. Pretty much regardless, but yeah, we want 2 back to play around Decay. That's my concern for sure. Alright, so they're Hellbent. We have a Force Up, so you just need to make sure we don't die to Decay, basically. Whilst pressuring them enough that we can beat a Deluge. I think I attack with Pyro too. So I do this, I have 2 back for the Marit Lage. And they take 4. But we get the Safekeeper off board, so then we're pushing through for like 4 to 5 damage every turn. I haven't actually done the maths. This is pretty good for us. Yeah, my thought process was I was pretty happy if they named Tarn. Because it means they're not naming Wasteland, and Wasteland just like cuts them off mana at the moment and leaves them with nothing. Which is why I didn't crack the Tarn. Aggro, I like it. Alright, does Bolt kill them? Bolt does not quite kill them. I think I'm still going to shuffle anyway. Force is quite a bad draw here. I think. I don't know, maybe Force is still better than most of our draws by a fair margin. Unsure. Not immediately apparent. Like, I am worried about Deluge, right? So I could hold up Daze plus Force. That's, like, reasonable. Let's get rid of that Inquisition from the top. Doesn't do anything. Can probably just wait on this Brainstorm for a turn. Hit them to 6 here. And then next turn we can like dig for a bolt if we feel like we have the freedom to do so. We have to be worried about Sajiri Step off the top. Sajiri Step does kill us on the spot. Maybe it was greed. It gets the Safekeeper out of play, which is nice. Alright, well then. They should have copied the forest at the stage, I think, so they have a second green source in play. So now they only have one green source, which is not great for them. I guess it doesn't matter, because they're dead on board now. Maybe it just doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what they did there, because they're dead on board anyway. That's fair. Alright. So, we want Pithing Needle. We won game 1 against Sorry, we won game 1 against Turbodeps. That's so absurd. Like, since when does that happen? Since when does your Mopey Delver deck beat Turbodeps game 1? I think Surgical is not terrible if you draw an Edict or a Wasteland. Surgical it's like kind of bad against Bob, I guess. It's probably good enough, but this is the stuff I'm eyeing up to varying degrees. True-Name is obviously the nutlow. Island is pretty bad. Beyond that, things get tricky. The discard is not great. Discard is not great. Definitely trim at least one piece. How does the Protor water taste? It tastes of bitter defeat. Actually, no, I think maybe that one's from a one I did well at. I can't remember which bottle was from where. I think that one might not be from the one I 2-7'd. Yours tastes kind of dusty. You should wash that bottle out sometime. Jeez, Matt. What a life. I think I want these Surgicals. Spell Pierce is probably actually pretty bad against them on the draw. It hits him. I think it's pretty hard to ever hit Crop Rot with it though. And then we want to cut an Angler or an Inquisition. I don't want to go too Fret Light. I do need to kill them. I'm worried that they main deck a Bog, which makes Angler a bit worse. This is probably fine. I just don't want too many dead top decks, you know. Inquisition's not great for that. Like, they force you into top deck mode with their Hymn-to-Tirax and such. Oh, this hand is obviously great. Needle is decent at buying some time. Also, like, you just don't want to mulligan against them. The infinite discard spells deck. Alright. So I want to crack this Delta immediately. Because I don't want them cutting me off black mana with a Needle. It makes Ponder worse, I guess. But sometimes they just draw like 2 or 3 Pithing Needles and they start attacking your fetch lands. And you feel really dumb for not just cracking them. Even if you make your Ponders a bit worse in doing so. I I'm just gonna run out Needle on Thespian stage, because I can counter Hex Mage. Nice basic lands, jeez. So rude. So rude. Just the actual rudest. Alright. Guess we're more likely to want to cast a red spell than a black spell. Black spell than a red spell, because we've got Inquisition in our deck. So we could just lead with Volk instead of Ponder, but this way we get the value out of the fetch land, potentially. Inquisition, Bolts, Wasteland. I actually really want to Inquisition them here. I think I'm going to crack this, find an underground sea, Inquisition them. Just like find out what's going on over there. The 19 turn clock. It's about to be 18 turns. About to be 18 turns. Let's find out what's going on there. Liliana, Abrupt Decay. Huh. Oh my god, we boarded out the fucking island and they have a Ghost Quarter. Oh, I'm boarding out a Volk for next game and bringing the island back in. I'm pretty sure we boarded out the island, right? What a tilt. What a tilt. That's so upsetting. Neither of those cards do anything. So there's that. I guess I take the Liliana. I don't really care about them decaying my Needle. I will live, you know. Alright, we're going to be staring at each other a while. I wish I had an island in my deck right now. Sideboard face first into Ghost Quarter, we sure do. Jesus, don't we half. Imagine if we had an island right now, just like laugh at our opponent. Ugh. I forgot they play Ghost Quarter, honestly. Because, like, Ghost Quarter doesn't get needled, so... I'm sure I want to lead on Volk, so I can cast an Angler. None of those cards do anything. Cool. I would like a threat, please. Alright, that runs into Abrupt Decay. I guess I don't cast it yet, then. How interested am I in wastelanding them? Just to make sure this Daze is live against, like, Dark Confidants and whatnot. I'm probably interested in that. It's kinda depressing, but... I want to do it in their turn because of Crop Rot. Yeah. Yeah, I think I sit on this Bitterblossom because I got more discard spells in my deck to protect it. And it's like my most important threat against them. Yeah, I think I waste just because I want Daze to be live against Bob. Bob, Sylvan Library, etc. Yeah, you only need the one for the combo for sure. Agree. Okay, that's a good draw. That's an excellent card to draw. I think I actually play out the Bitterblossom now. If they want to decay the Blossom, then it means my Delver lives, which is fine. Obviously, Blossom's like unreal against them, but getting a Delver clock going sounds appealing to me. Also, they might just have more than one decay anyway, in which case we want to eat through them sooner rather than later. Alright, it's gonna take this. Assume we're gonna see this Bitterblossom go bye-bye now. Or we can start making tokens, that's also great. Force, delightful. So now we have Force plus Daze up. I'm feeling very good about our position right now. I'm not entirely sure what's happening in this game, but you know. Decay is a lot better than Assassin's Trophy right now. Correct. I wonder if Assassin's Trophy means like literal every Delver deck has to start playing a basic. That'd be kind of cool. Alright. That's a very, very good draw. Because our main problem at the moment is we don't entirely know what's going on over there. I assume there's like a lot of combo pieces in hand they don't want to play out into the Wasteland, maybe? Or this. So I don't care about Liliana. I don't really care about Crop Rot. Because it runs face first into Force. Hey there, weirdo. Good to see you. Obviously, I think I want to take Dark Confidant. Like, it's very hard for them to actually set up Hex Mage plus Crop Rot through, like, Wasteland plus Daze plus Force. And Liliana's so bad against Daze. I think Dark Confidant is the scariest card, by, like, wide margin, especially with a Safekeeper in play. Yeah, land plus Bob would just be so threatening, right? Okay, well, we just let this resolve. Deals 2 to them, that's like not irrelevant. Might even actually speed up our clock here. Yeah, we do 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So it actually speeds up our clock by a turn, which is really nice. I want to play out this land. It makes a Brainstorm worse. But it means any land draw turns on Hardcast Force, which is obviously just great. Ugh! God damn. Stupid card. That card is so good. I think I have to force this. They're like almost dead, is the thing. Life loss from Bob's not irrelevant, but I just don't think I can actually beat this. We've still got like 3 turns to kill them. We've got a Wasteland for the for like first iteration of the combo. I think we just have to do this. Alright. Oh, We're casting the second Bitterblossom. Live dangerously. Live dangerously. I guess it stops decay slowing down our clock. Makes a Brainstorm worse. Means Toxic Deluge probably ends the game, but hey. I think I'm just casting this. Alright, the clock is on. Live fast, die young. At any cost. At any cost. I'm actually gonna trade a token for this Sylvan Safekeeper now. Because I think... Wait, does that change our clock? That changes our clock? What? So we don't get to block? That sucks. Alright. Yes, we don't get to block. So it changes our clock. Take it. Okay, now things get scary. We've got this Wasteland. They've got a Hex Mage in hand. Alright, they're just casting the Hex Mage. Sure. So I need to not die to these Bitterblossoms. Life is a resource, it most definitely is. Playing out Young Pyromancer is bad if they go land Toxic Deluge, but I don't think I'm beating land Toxic Deluge very easily from this position, so whatever. This is better against a Decay. Everything is fine. Everything is a-okay. Nothing is on fire. Alright. How am I blocking? I need to have lethal through Lily Edict and Decay. So Decay would kill Pyromancer, so I can only give up one thing in combat this turn. So I guess I just do this. No, I probably just blocked the 2 damage, right? I'm gonna go to 5. And then if they have Decay, they kill Pyromancer, but they still die. Yeah, it gives me one more turn, I agree, Matt. The Safekeeper is just, like, not actually very relevant this game. Alright. It's pretty hype. Clean 2040 to start things off. Could be worse. Grixis Delver lives again. God, if this deck's actually good, I'm gonna start liking Legacy again. I've missed Delvering people. I'm gonna feel really sad I didn't play Delver at the PT, but hey. Playing Sneak and Show at the one and only Legacy PT ranks weirdly highly on my list of regrets. Not so much for the sake of my result, but just because I could have played a deck I actually enjoy instead, like this. Played some sort of interactive deck. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the opponent thought we were on Grixis control based off game 1. Scry or on the draw. Jeez, Matt, that's absurd. That sounds unreal stressful. I actually kind of want to keep this on the draw. It's really hard to win with these decks on like 5 cards. Because all your cards are like pound for pound a tiny bit worse than your opponent's. We've got a Wasteland to buy time. So we can like afford to miss the land drop for 1 turn. On the draw I'm actually going to keep this. I'm going to bottom that, try and find a blue source. This is not obviously not a good hand, but I've traditionally found it very hard to actually win off 5 cards with these sorts of decks, so... Yeah, I find Sneak and Show really depressing too, Lassie. You just feel like so many of your games you have no influence on, right? It's just like, how much disruption did I draw my combo? How many threats did I draw against their disruption? It's like very, very little influence on the outcome of games. It's so miserable. Alright, well, there you go. I must admit, I would find that approach to things stressful, Matt. Not gonna lie. Not quite sure how you manage it. I was a bit surprised about that mention, Widow. Didn't say anything, but... Deathrite Shaman was insane in Mill, oh my god. Mill so much food for the Shaman. Bye bye Force of Will. Crab plus Daze. Oh my god. Crab plus Daze is a lot. Crab plus Daze is a whole lot. Jeez. Oh, this is so great. This is so dreamy. We get to go Inquisition into Gurmag if we're somehow not dead next turn. Yes, maybe I wanted both lands. Maybe I just wanted all 3 of those cards, and I meant to draw the Underground Sea instead. That could be the case. We have to cast these red cards at some point. No! Fuck you. Taking my Gurmag Angler. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Might take my Preordain. Nah, I took the Angler. Makes sense. Yes, I am no longer Inquisitioning them this turn. If they kill me, then whatever. I just want to have a threat in play. Having a threat in play is more important than crossing my fingers that this one piece of disruption buys us enough time. Like, we could die here because I didn't Inquisition them, but that's fine. I'm at peace with that. Fourth discard spell of the game. It doesn't mean they're not casting combo pieces, so you know, that's something. So they just have no relevant spells in hand since they took the bolt. I guess I still fire off the Inquisition anyway. Oh, they probably have like Adnors in hand, maybe. So I just lead on Preordain, see what I don't know, this is kind of tough. I guess finding out the final card still has value, right? It lets us know if we want a Wasteland or not. Sure. Hey, we hit a card. Sick. Their draw has been impressively mopey. Does Angler change our clock at all? We put them to 11 this turn, next turn attack for 4. Put them to 7, and then Angler kills them the turn after. So probably want the Angler. Sure. You can easily beat control and main deck surgical beats combo. Kinda makes sense, Lassie. I don't know how Miracles ever beats Mill, I'll say that much. That seems just like actual misery. Alright, dead next turn. Somehow we won this game, because my opponent just drew nothing. Oh, they beat it with Mentor? That's fair. Mentor beats anything, right? Mentor just beats literal everything. Hey there, or Mentor is the answer to all problems. Yeah, we're playing some Grixis Delver today. Haven't lost a game yet, which is kind of absurd. So they had Rite of Flame, which means they're on the Empty the Warrens style of Storm, right? They're on, what's it called, Tess. So we actually want the Sweepers. Yeah, the Bitterblossoms have been, like, very nice so far. And the fact they're on Tess makes Surgical, Cage, and Pyroblast all a bit worse than they normally are. Like, we saw them cast 0 boost spells that game, right? Pyroblast just doesn't even do much against them. Let's Fatal Push. Take out, like, 1 bolt. Take out the island. Oh, True-Names are really bad too, though. I guess True-Names are at least blue cards for forces. Really? Bitterblossom's been sweet. We played against Turbo Depths earlier and just, like, made a bunch of flyers. They couldn't ever attack. It's great. I don't know. Surgical's not great against Tess, but they might, like, True-Name's like actual garbage. True-Name is literally just blue card for force in this matchup. So I mean, but Young Pyro isn't exactly a fast clock. Anyway. Young Pyro is a very slow clock. It is true that we probably want to take out Bitterblossoms in this matchup instead of True-Names, though. They're like about the same speed, except True-Name pitches. Guess we just have to play these. Just, like, don't really have quite enough cards. Let's try this. I don't love Surgical against Tess, but 1 copy is probably fine. You can like use discard spells to try and line it up against something. Gorgeous hand. Jeez. Threat, disruption, cantrips, lands. Everything you could want in life. Including a force. Oh, they kept a no-lander? Sick. Well then. Alright, so we have to make sure they can't empty us this turn. God, Empty the Warrens is so brutal. Card is just so unbeatable. Alright, resolves, I guess. So I have to counter this or I die to empty, right? Just like lose on the spot to empty the Warrens. Now they need specifically Dark Ritual to empty us this turn. Oh my god. Yeah. Huh. Curious. What are they getting? Burning Wish. Sure. I am confused. What am I missing here? What are they Burning Wish for? Past in Flames. Okay. That doesn't do anything for a little while. See ya, lassie. Have a good day. Alright, we have a decent clock now. We have a Pierce for the Past in Flames. Want to fire off Brainstorm now to find another threat. The Inquisition doesn't do anything at the moment, so we have something to shuffle away. And like a second Delver, speed things up considerably. Same time we can use this to protect our Spell Pierce from a discard spell. I think I'm just going to go ahead and fire this off. I think that's fine. Awesome. Wasteland is a great find. So we put the Inquisition under the Spell Pierce. And we Wasteland this. Because then the Spell Pierce can't get discarded. Next turn, landing Angler speeds up our clock considerably. I guess we don't know that we can cast Angler next turn. Yeah, I can't actually cast Angler, quite cast Angler next turn, but we're pretty close. In fact, not impossible. I wanted the Inquisition instead of the Angler. Especially since Wastelanding them is going to like leave some spells trapped in hand here. They're going to be trying to build up ritual effects. Alright, opponent's fed up. Don't blame them. Easy 3-0-6-0. Haven't lost a game. Grixis Delver still apparently the best deck, you know. Easy life and all that. Lost Deathrite Shaman didn't even matter. Did not even matter. Should update the title and say that we're delvering people. Alright, match 4. Let's keep this going. Let's keep this this win streak going here. Obviously this is land heavy. I think this is probably a keep, though I'd keep this on 6 if one of these was gone, right? Inquisition into like Ponder to smooth things out. We can dig for like a Brainstorm. I honestly think this is probably a keep in the dark. I know it's land heavy, but it's fine. Oh boy, another storm deck. Alright, let's figure out what this hand does. You're holding a vigil for the Scarab God. I'm gonna miss the Scarab God. Scarab God is just like everything to me. What on earth do we take? I think we take the Brainstorm, right? The Thoughtseize gets to take out Ponder, which sucks. What does LED do? LED doesn't really do much quite yet. This is tough. So how far are they off casting Ad Nauseam? If they get a second land, the Cabal Ritual makes 3 mana. It's either Thoughtseize or Brainstorm. I think I'm just going to take the Brainstorm. They're going to go ahead and Thoughtseize me. If they take the Ponder, the next one I can almost cast Angler. But they probably still want to take the Ponder anyway. Leaves this hand not doing much for a while. Ooh. I'm into that. Jeez. I'm into that. Alright. Ponderino. Wasteland is great. So we get to go draw Wasteland, Wasteland you next turn Angler. Now they just have no lands because we took the Brainstorm and the Wasteland, so they just like kind of screwed here for a little bit. So crack this fetch land. Find a Volk, cast Preordain, cast Angler. Just dig for more interaction. Brainstorm's also great. Everything is kind of panning out perfectly this game. It's kind of absurd. Having Inquisitions in your Delver deck is just so nice. Am I dead? I might be dead here. I think I'm dead, by the looks of things. So they get to go Cabal Ritual, go up to 5, cast Adnors. And they have a LED in play and a Past in Flame, so it's really likely this Adnors just kills us. Be kind of surprising if it doesn't. Basically need them to not hit red mana, which is nearly impossible. Yeah, they found red mana. I think we're dead. I guess Misty, yeah, Misty gets Volk, right? For the red mana. Maybe Tendrils too. Dark Ritual goes up to 5. I goes up to 6. Crack Misty, get Volk, cast Past in Flames, cast Ritual, Tendrils. Huh. Why did they play the island? I think I'm dead. They're playing the island's kind of curious. Unless I'm missing something. Oh, did they have a Cabal Ritual we missed whilst I was counting? Okay, that makes it clean then. I just like missed the Cabal Ritual. Yeah. Okay. It's kind of sad. Our hand played out perfectly. Just didn't get there. Alright, so they are Ant instead of Tess. So Surgical is actually good against Ant, whereas it doesn't really do much against Tess. Spell Pierce is great. Luster's great. And Pyro is actually good against Ant, or isn't good against Tess. Cage is also kind of like a similar deal. So we get to board out a lot more stuff here, which is nice. A lot more of the sketches. I think I do want Marsh Casualties. Bit scared of empty. Feel like we're generally a favourite if we can deal with empty. Neither of those shuts down LED. LED is a mana ability. It's a weird mana ability because it can't be done at like mana speed, it's done at instant speed, but it's still a mana ability. I'm gonna keep this. We need a clock, obviously, but that is still fine. We'll draw into a clock in a turn or two. All our cantrips out dig for one. Yeah, Revoker shuts down LED. Revoker is very odd. So, not taking the Rain of Filth or the cantrips, because I got this Pyroblast for cantrips. So the options are LED or Dark Petition. Options are LED or Dark Petition. Their hand's already pretty mana heavy. Oh, you think we take their hand's mana light, so we take the LED? I guess once you take the LED, they don't have much mana, right? Dark Petition is very expensive to cast. It's also a sorcery speed card, which makes it like less versatile than Admirals anyway. I don't hate taking the LED. It's like a tiniest bit awkward from the position that like this game's gonna go on a while, and we have 3 Inquisitions in our deck and only 1 Thoughtseize, so like later in the game we're not gonna be able to take the Dark Petition ever. But alright. That is possibly the best draw in our deck. I have to assume that is the best draw in our deck. Seems quite likely. What do they do with the Ponder? They chose to not shuffle. Interesting. They found another LED too. I'm just going to go ahead and Pyroblast this Preordain. They don't have many targets for the Pyroblast, so I'm pretty happy to just fire it off the moment I see one. Yeah, the Dark Petition runs headfirst into Force, which is really nice here for sure. No, not trivial Polluted Delta, in fact. I guess we want an upkeep stop now that we have a fetch land in play. Brainstorm. Alright. Almost want to force that, but it's obviously greedy. You got the ruling text on LED. The ability is a mana ability, so it is activated and resolves as a mana ability. Yeah, it's really, really heckin' weird war. It's just the weirdest. It's one of the weirder cards I've seen in my life. God damn it. Just like any blue card is perfect. Any instant or sorcery is perfect. This is definitely a situation where this looks worse than True-Name, but hey. This is all your fault, Young Pyromancer. I hold Young Pyromancer personally responsible. Alright, this is pretty bad for us. I could have shuffled away the Young Pyromancer. Maybe I was meant to. Maybe I was meant to shuffle away the Young Pyromancer. Try and find another blue card. Kinda unsure. Anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They get to petition this turn. Which means they get to Adnors. I don't know if Adnors is actually good here. It would use up 2 LEDs. Can they... They don't have a good Past in Flames this turn. I guess they could just go get some... okay. They drew the good one. They can go get Empty the Warrens. Probably be pretty unbeatable. Oh, they did go for Adnors. They've used up 2 LEDs already. It's not even clear that this is good, right? I guess we'll find out. It's probably good. I wonder what their storm count is. I wish we knew. They only need 8 storms, so we're probably dead. They've gone Rain of Filth, Tutor, Adnors is free. They can Ritual up to Storm 4, Ritual up to Storm 5, Duress is 6, Tendrils is 7. So they have to like Brainstorm into something here to kill us. Oh wait, no, they have Storm 8, jeez. What was the other card that they cast? Oh, they led on a discard spell. That makes sense. I doubt forcing Brainstorm makes things go any better. What I should have done is cracked fetch and upkeep. So I'm pretty sure I didn't want to draw the Young Pyromancer. I think I just want like another shot at any blue card there instead of the Young Pyromancer. I don't think forcing the Brainstorm's good though. I mean, it was partially my fault for not cracking the fetch land, but I don't think having a 2-1 in play is going to meaningfully win or lose us the game. We also lost because we drew a Thoughtseize instead of an Inquisition, right? We drew the Thoughtseize instead of the Inquisition, which means they needed one less storm, and so we died. And we ended up taking something that costed 3 or less anyway, because we took the LED. So, actually, we win the game. We win the game if we draw an Inquisition, most likely, instead of the Thoughtseize. I'm not saying that Thoughtseize is bad, but Inquisition is pretty great. It's interesting. Also makes a big difference in the mirrors and like with Bitterblossom as well. The life loss is rough with Bitterblossom too. Volcanic Island decks, yeah, Ty. Volcanic Islands I love. Alright, we'll go first. We'll snap keep this hand. Easiest keep of my life. Go Delver. Yeah, Volks are pretty silly expensive. For sure. I think I've won 2 so far now in various tournaments. I need to sell one at some point. Kind of use the money. So, assume they're taking force here? Yeah. Okay. Either yet another Storm deck or Turbo Depths. Just great at this game. Flip our Delver. Yeah, something like that, Ty. Say not insignificant sum of money. It's kind of awkward. I need a blue card for this force. I guess I can lead on Preordain, right? And depending on what the Preordain sees can depend on whether I play out the Delver. That's interesting. Oh wow. So I can Inquisition them this turn instead of Delvering. So they already have a clock in play. If I Inquisition them, I have 3 cards in yard. I don't quite get to Angler next turn. So playing out the Delver this turn doesn't even increase the clock. There's also a factor. Do I like Grixis control? I think it's reasonable. Grixis control is quite reasonable. It's very good against, whoa. What is opponent on? They don't get to Brainstorm next turn, so that's nice. Currently feel very silly about not playing out the Delver. Yeah, I have 4 in yard, so I can almost cast Angler. I think Grixis control is very reasonable. I think it's very good against the Death Shadow decks, the blue-black Shadow deck. So it's a nice position to be from that perspective. It's also like decent against Miracles too. Just get the attack in. I'm just going to fire off this Brainstorm. Fairly aggressive Brainstorm, but got this Angler in hand we're looking to cast. Yeah, I think Grixis control is decent against Death and Taxes as well. Oh, that's interesting, Minifer. That would be the opposite of my expectations. It's not like an unreasonable conclusion, though. I'm going to let this resolve. They only get to shuffle away 1 card, so I don't think it actually matters that much. If it was on their turn, it would be scarier, but as it is, they're only shuffling away 1 card from the Brainstorm, so like, shrug. I would have thought Baleful Strix would be a really scary card for Shadow, but so are we assuming opponents on Storm? That's the only deck that would have like Duress, Bayou, Brainstorm, right? Are we just like immediate? Yeah, definitely Storm. I think so. What makes you think Tess? I was thinking Ant, but it's hard to say. I think Ant can afford to get away with keeping a slower hand like that more easily. Some Storm lists have green. Does Ant play Bayou? I thought they did. I've seen Xantid Swarms and Abrupt Decays before in Ant in like the last few months. I'm going to assume Ant. Then we can change things around depending on what we see next game. So Ant means I want Surgicals. So I can trim a Bolt, trim a True-Name. Assassin's Trophy will definitely see Legacy play. The card seems very, very good. People will have to start playing more basics, I think, as well. Like, I think Delver decks will just have to play a basic going forward because of Assassin's Trophy. I think it's kind of crazy not to. I think most Delver decks were honestly meant to have a basic in their 75 beforehand anyway. Back during Deathrite Shaman's heyday, I was playing an Island in my sideboard, and I thought it was just amazing. It was like one of the best cards in the 75. You like, whenever you bought it in, you were so happy. And like, sure, there were matchups where you didn't bring it in, but whatever. That's like any sideboard card. I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna bring in the Cage until I'm like 100% sure they're Ant. I'm pretty happy with everything else in the dark here. Yeah, Assassin's Trophy definitely reasonable against lands. Having more ways to interact with the various pieces. You can kill an exploration or a combo piece, like, kind of great. I'm running to 5 against these 8 discard spell decks is just asking for trouble. Maybe I was meant to keep that 5. I had like 2 forces. I don't know. Maybe I was meant to keep the 5. It's not like you get anywhere mulling into Oblivion against the 8 discard spell decks, right? I just feel kind of embarrassed. Killing Tabernacle. Like, letting a deck like Elves kill Tabernacle is just awesome, really. They Brainstorm, I'm dazing 100%. What? Interesting. God damn it. They remember to play out a fetch. They almost cantripped. To our Daze. Yeah, you don't know any task lists running Fluster. That is good to know. Winning off a Multifor is not going to be easy, but we've had a decent start here. We can draw like a Delver next turn. Get a clock going. I really want this 4-1. We won game 1, so even if we lose this one, still have a decent shot at a 4-1. They chose to shuffle. That's good for us. Okay, Sure, let's just Brainstorm here. Brainstorm less good on a heavy mulligan like this, but alright, Young Pyromancer is great. Give us a clock here. So we hide the bolts and the Young Pyromancer. Keep the interaction in hand. Make sure we don't die here. Alright. Just have to cross our fingers that their hand's weak. Like, obviously we're not working with many resources this game. But if their hand is weak, we can definitely get there. Obviously they've not played out any more land drops, so they're not flooding. Yeah, if the bolt was a Thoughtseize, we'd be in a very good position. Bolt still ups our pressure a bit, so it's still fine. It like increases the Pyromancer clock considerably by giving us a 1-1. Like, Bolt's gonna put them to 14 and give us the 3rd power. So the bolt's still reasonable, but definitely agree it could be better. Oh wow, that's an absurd draw. Jeez, that's such a good draw. Okay, so now we have a Flusterstorm on top. So we have 3 pieces of interaction now. For various different possible pieces that they could play. If they do nothing next turn, I'm gonna Surgical just to increase our clock. Yeah, I mulled to 4 this game, Caxi. Surgical is to shut down, like, Past in Flames nonsense. Or randomly, make Infernal... Not Infernal, what's it called? Cabal Ritual worse too. Like, steal Cabal Ritual mana. Like, counter it. It's not great, but it's better than anything in your sideboard, right? Yeah, this is a good multi-4. So we're just going to untap here. Surgically here doesn't increase our clock. If we have to Surgical next turn, we will, though. Just to speed us up by a turn. They chose to shuffle, so like shuffling with the Surgical doesn't have value here. Okay. So if they don't kill us, they die next turn. Because we can go like Surgical, counter our Surgical 3 times. Thoughtseize. Interesting. So just let us resolve. You think we Fluster? I guess we into their mana. If they tap 2 mana for Fluster... No, don't we Pierce instead of Fluster? You reckon we... Why do we for sure force... We want to save Fluster for Empty, we know that much. Like, Empty is one of the only ways we die here. I think I Spell Pierce. I think I agree with Spell Piercing. So they're on 7s, they die next turn, right? If they don't kill us this turn. Because we got 4 points in hand, essentially. So it doesn't matter if this doesn't resolve, for the sake of our clock. If they spend 2 mana for this, that's like pretty great for us, I think. Really know how the opponent gets out of this. And now down to 6. We're going to have 4 power in play currently. So they're paying the 2 mana for the Spell Pierce, which is nice. Or are they trying to combo over the top of this? Interesting. I think I want the Surgical Lotus Petal. Yeah, Surgical to see their hand is nice. It lets us know what matters. It forces them to cast another spell right now if they want the ritual to make 5 mana instead of 3. This is a cool stack, jeez. Got some stuff going on here. Nice mulligan to 4. Nice mulligan to 4. I'm pretty sure there's no downtime today. I think the next downtime is not for like another week or 2. It's in my calendar. I think it's like a week or 2 from now though. Hopefully it's 2 weeks from now. Hopefully it's 2 weeks from now, because I'm hoping to do one of my 12 hours next Wednesday. Things get really awkward if I can't. That is a fluster on my spell pierce. That's A-okay for me. Yeah, downtime's on the 26th, the next one. I do not care about this spell pierce very much. I just let this fluster resolve and then I get to see their hand. Obviously the thing this fluster does do is it lets this make 5 mana, but we can counter it with our Daze now, because they're tapped out. But I'm going to see their hand first. Yeah, we can Daze the Cabolret now. Once we've seen their hand and we know what matters. This is such a cool stack. Legacy is wild. They don't have downtime every Wednesday anymore. They do it like once a month or so. Do we need a lever spell for lethal next turn? Currently no, because they're taking 2 off the Thoughtseize. But, obviously if Thoughtseize doesn't resolve, we'd have to cast 2 spells. We'd have to cast 1 spell, sorry. So we have 5 damage in play. Oh, this is targeting Surgical? I really want to see that hand. I get to have Daze plus Force up if I pay for this. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. The other option is I just fluster the Cabolret and the Thoughtseize, right? No, I just fluster Cabolret, Thoughtseize. This doesn't matter. And then we have Force up for protection and we have Lethal in play. Yeah, what am I doing? I'm stupid. So we're not going to play for Fluster. Fluster doesn't matter. I guess we could have flustered the Fluster copy. We should have done that. But this is fine. Yeah, I could have flustered the Fluster copy. You're right, Shop. I should have done. It doesn't matter though. I think they can't actually possibly beat this. This is clearly a mistake, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they can't win even though we made that mistake. so it's fine. Alright, mulligan to 4 gets there. Easy game. Easy game. Not the easiest game, but you know. Let's open a treasure chest. Furnace Dragon, affinity for artifacts. 5/5 flyer. Oh, this used to see sideboard play, right? In the affinity mirrors? I think it did. Anyway, probably not seeing play anymore. Yeah, I used to see play in the affinity mirrors. It's way before my time, but I remember a friend talking about that. It's kind of sick sideboard tech. Right, I am gonna go make some tea and head to the bathroom, and then we'll hop into another league with this deck, I think. This was really enjoyable. Had a blast of this. I'm pretty up for another league of this before we find a different deck to play, I think.